All right, let's talk the Los Angeles Chargers and the Arizona Cardinals. The Chargers are 4.5-point road favorites over the Arizona Cardinals. 47.5 is our total. Adam, we take a look at this Chargers team, and I will admit I had them going to the Super Bowl this year. I thought the talent that they already had on the roster and that they went and acquired, that this was going to be one of those type of teams that could make a run at the Super Bowl. Add about 75 injuries later, and I no longer think that, but they are facing a Cardinals team that looks completely lost. Cliff Kingsbury's dead man walking, right? Well, I guess if the team can afford to fire him. They say they can't afford to fire him. They don't have they're too cash poor to fire him, but they don't have anything going, obviously. So we find the Chargers, even with half the defense gone, even with Mike Williams back injured again for this team, we find them as more than a field goal, not just more than a field goal, on the other side of 4 at this point. What do you think about this one? This is a pretty interesting game to me.
It's interesting from this perspective. Which one of these underperforming teams might just pick this week to perform? And if it's that question, I think it's the Chargers, because if you go to the underlying pieces of that game last week against the Chiefs, you started to see the Chargers offense look the way the Chargers offense should. And all it took was reinserting Keenan Allen to be able to do that. So give Justin Herbert someone to throw the ball to long, and we saw that with Josh Palmer, then you start to see what the potential is for this offense. Now, on the other side of this, with the Arizona Cardinals, this is a mess. And the way that Kyler Murray is getting buried in the media, the way that Kyler Murray was getting buried by his own organization, even after signing a contract by leaking the thing about how often he has to study, what is it that you can feel confident about with the Arizona Cardinals right now? I'm not even going to go into, you don't need to see numbers to understand what's going on in Arizona. On the Chargers side of things, the problem is the defense is horrible. And they thought they had fixed the run defense. It hasn't been fixed. And I don't know that you can trust either side of this game. So maybe you guys have an angle. I don't. It's a pass for me.
Yeah, I mean, Steven, I was looking here and it hasn't been posted yet because, again, we are recording this on a Wednesday. I was going to see what Keenan Allen reception props looked like. Not necessarily yardage or anything like that, because I do think that there's still a chance that he could easily catch 5 balls, but it'd be for 45 yards or something like that. So, of course, not posted yet because we're doing this early. I think maybe I'll just be looking at maybe what his reception prop is. If it's sitting 3.5 and I only need 4 catches out of Keenan Allen, or even 4.5 or only need 5, that might be the angle here for me in this one, but it seems lined appropriately. The total seems fair. What do you think when you see 4.5 and 47.5?
Yeah, I think definitely too expensive on the full game for me to be interested in Los Angeles based on their defense. The one angle I think I'm interested in is Chargers first quarter, on the angle of Cliff Kingsbury can't script and Kyler Murray has been struggling in general. If you look at the season long numbers, the Chargers aren't that much better than the Cardinals in the first quarter. But if we look a little bit closer, last few games, Justin Herbert's a little bit healthier. Last 3 weeks, Chargers are up to number 3 in offensive EPA in the first quarter. So what they're scripting is working much, much, much better than what we've seen out of Arizona. So if you can get a line, something, I don't know, a -120 or maybe, -1 on first quarter line here. I haven't quite looked to see what we're at here, but I think it'd be somewhere around that. The full game's around -4.5. I kind of like Chargers first quarter here, and just instead of trying to get them to cover a big number full game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Chargers defense it's much of the same from last year. They cannot stop the run at all. I mean, they are one of the worst, 30th overall DVOA, 29th according to Pro Football Focus, 30th rush defense success rate against, dead last in the NFL in yards per rush given up. But the problem here, Adam, is while I'd say, oh, well, maybe this is a dead under game because the Cardinals take advantage of what the Chargers don't do well. Or maybe this is James Conner props because, how bad the Chargers are at run defense. I don't think Cliff has it in him to actually play optimally. So I can't give the assumption of rational coaching in this game because I don't think Cliff is a rational coach.
Well, if you want to talk rational coaching, I'll take it beyond Cliff Kingsbury and say, what in the world happened to Brandon Staley this year? The guy who we saw an off-season article about fourth down decisions and his ability to maximize edges, and the field goal that he kicked last week toward the end of the first half against the Chiefs was abysmal from that perspective. So I don't think you can trust either one of these coaches for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough one here in this one. So, look, maybe something will appear throughout the course of the rest of the week. And again, if any of us get anything in our accounts, we'll be sure and put it into the comment section in this thing. But this is seems about appropriate kind of all the way around.